Hey nerds, welcome to episode 67 of the Nerd Rundown podcast. Coming up this week on the show, Darren and I discuss DC's wholesale slaughter of Batgirl. Darren gets a Loki bony over some Double D photos. We round out the show with some Marvel and DC news and rumors around casting and the potential return of Skullface Guy. Ready? Hit it!
Welcome to another episode of the Nerd Rundown podcast, where we cover the latest in the nerd world of movies, TV, and more. I'm Darren Stemple, and you all know my co-pilot, Eric Hare.
Greetings, fellow nerds.
You can find us on our social media like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, all at the Nerd Rundown. While you're there, hit the like button, subscribe button, leave a comment. We had a record week for comments. Thank you again, Captain Dunsel, bringing the heat on the comments. Brian Castillo made an appearance back on the Nerd Rundown.
Yep.
Or at least the comments section. Love you, Brian.
I finally chimed in and fulfilled my obligations.
Eric's getting back to comments about questions and comments to him. It's a lot of fun interacting with you all on a weekly basis. And of course, you can listen to us on all the major podcast services. So I'm going to start off this week, Eric, real quick with a real big I'm sorry and correction from last week. Last week I was saying that I love ALS, and I said it several times. No need to tell everybody how many times.
Well, I think in fairness to you, you did say ASL the first time, I think, and then every subsequent one after that was then ALS. So you did start out properly, and then
right.
Yeah. And I was too exhausted to catch it and correct you. So
I mean, you knew what I was talking about, but
I did.
It's something that I felt really bad, and I apologized if I offended anybody that signs with ASL, and it's been something that's been important to my family. My mom went to ASL classes as I was growing up, and always taught me to just have some really great respect for people who can't hear, or even people that just need to use ASL for whatever reason. Maybe it's their even preferred way of communicating. Who knows? But I am sorry, and big time correction. I do not love ALS. I do not love Lou Gehrig's disease. That is a very tragic disease and something that I wish this world never had to experience. So I apologize and love to get to the rundown because we got some great stuff to talk about.
Well, hold
Eric.
on. We do have one thing to help you out with as also. So
please help me.
as of this recording, it is August 8th. Okay, so August 7th is a pretty big day in the United States, and a lot of people don't know it, but it is National Purple Heart Day. So, and our awesome host and creator of the Nerd Rundown podcast is a Purple Heart winner, and so I wanted to say thank you for your service, and thank you for creating the podcast and everything, and thank you for your Purple Heart. It's it's a hard fought, hard won that you got it, and I know that you're still dealing with certain things from it, but thank you.
It'd make me cry.
All right. Some lotion. Just some lotion.
Yeah, I got some lotion.
I was outside earlier mowing the grass, and I had put some sunscreen on, and it's just leaked straight down into my eye. So
I appreciate that. My Purple Heart's something I didn't ask for, but it's something that I'm proud of as well. So thank you. Let's talk some nerd shit.
I hear it.
First on the rundown this week, Eric, we got it's a pretty big news, and it's earned its spot as the number one news item for the week. DC cancels, I should say, Warner Brothers and Discovery, along with DC, cancel their upcoming HBO Max movie Batgirl. The reason given is that it just wasn't scoring well enough, that it was akin to a TV pilot. Michael Keaton was supposed to be in this movie as Batman. That's no longer, and he actually just recently got replaced on Aquaman 2: The Lost Kingdom. Lots of things coming out of DC this week. Eric, you're the big DC nerd here. WTF?
It's worse. It's worse than just that. They also scrapped plans that they had for a Superwoman,
Supergirl, yeah,
a Supergirl that they were going to do.
Super lady.
Yep. And then they also, and I don't know how this. Here's the really bad part, because to me this is a really bad part. Batgirl was scoring the same as Shazam 2 was scoring in their test.
No, Shazam, just Shazam.
I think it was Shazam 2 is what I had read. It was Shazam 2.
Or I meant Black Adam.
Oh, Black Adam was the same as.
It was okay. Scoring it. Yeah, here I have the article right here. I can send you over.
Yeah, because I had thought that it said that the Batgirl and Shazam 2 were scoring the same, and I was like, oh man, that's terrible if Shazam 2 is going to be that rough. But yeah.
No, it's your buddy DJ. There's the link right there. It doesn't give me a lot of confidence, for Shazam or for Black Adam, but I actually don't really have a lot of hype for that. So I kind of see it as what it's probably going to be. So I'm really happy that it wasn't Shazam 2, because I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah. Well, as am I, because the first Shazam was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. And it gave you a glimpse of what DC could be, could have. Yeah. So Batgirl getting canceled. It's a full, completely done movie, edited, special effects, everything is ready. It is literally ready to roll out, and they think so badly of this film that they are not even going to release it out into the public. So not even like
streaming, it was
not even direct to streaming. Yeah, which I have a feeling that it probably initially was not a direct to streaming production.
It was always supposed to be.
Oh, was it? Okay.
It was supposed to be an HBO Max original movie.
Okay. All right. Yeah. If that's the case, then so be it. But wow.
Not that means anything.
Yeah. I mean,
that makes it even worse. I think.
Yeah. How bad is it if it can't even be?
Or is it? I mean,
I don't know.
It cost Sony released Morbius into theaters twice.
They rolled that piece of crap out twice. And
you can't even put this on your streaming service.
People would have watched it. Yeah, there's something fundamentally wrong here. There's something fundamentally wrong with that whole thing. So
there's something weird about it.
So I think we have a Nerd Box question a little bit later.
Well, I was gonna kind of book in this question with it and bring it in as like the next step in this and see. So, because Captain Nutzel makes lots of appearances on the show. Yeah. Because you know what, he's my number one fan right now.
Right. Yeah, he is.
He on YouTube left some comments, and one of his comments had a question that says, opinions on whether, in regards to the DC cancellations, opinions on whether they are giving up, or do you think this might be a regroup and lay out a new direction? So kind of tying into that, first early nerd box question.
Yeah, for sure.
Trophy goes to
So your question was so good, you've completely broken the show in a new way, Captain Dunzel. So, all right. So my thoughts on this are twofold. One is that there is somebody at the helm of Discovery Plus that has a clear vision for what he expects from DC and from the Warner Brothers side of the house, and he doesn't like it. He doesn't like what he's seeing. He doesn't like what's coming out, and he's dropping the hammer down on things and saying, hey, you know what? This is junk. I'm not rolling this thing out because we've got a history of junk stuff that we've been pushing out to people, and this thing is not what we're going to be looking forward to. So they have two choices here. They can go in a couple of different directions, and they can either, like we've talked about, try and play the catch-up game to Marvel and build out a universe, a 10-year game plan, and put somebody at the helm that they can trust for 3 to 4 years, which means you're going to have a couple of bombs in there. You're going to have a couple of home runs. You're going to have a couple of singles and doubles, and that's just how it goes. Okay, so not every film that... I know people look back with rose-colored glasses on all the Marvel stuff. That wasn't all great. It was good stuff, but Thor was not good. The first Thor movie was not that great, and even the first Avengers movie was not all that great. It wasn't.
There's maybe some nerd debate in there.
Yeah,
for sure.
But it wasn't like, if you look at the stuff that came later, way better. Way better Avengers stuff. But even
but at the time that shit was groundbreaking.
Well, it was. But
Thor at the time was good. It just doesn't age well. But
right.
I get what you're saying.
So. Or they can go in the direction, a completely different direction, which is, and this is maybe the best, as much as we would like to see a DC Justice League universe come together, maybe you should just stick with individual characters telling individual stories, and that's okay. Like, you can tell your Man of Steel movie and have it be just a standalone Superman movie, and then maybe have a couple of, spin-offs of that one or whatever, a couple sequels to that one, and do like a dual movie or a trilogy or something like that. It's same thing with like we've got the Robert Pattinson Batman, and maybe just tell that single individual story. Same thing with Wonder Woman. It's okay to tell those stories individually, and you don't have to merge them all into one and have it be one gigantic thing. And I have a feeling that they're probably going to go in that direction, at least initially, until they can figure something out. And maybe they'll tease a little Justice League get together at some point down the road, but build your characters slowly. Like, build the Batman one, and build they were in such a rush to catch, Marvel. And so, so it does give me, I know this is terrible news, because from what I understood, a lot of the people who were involved in the creation of it, this is just heartbreaking for them. And I can't even imagine pouring years, because these movies take years to put together. The filming is a couple months, 2-3 months, but the special effects, the writing, the pre-production, all that stuff. I mean, it takes years to put these things together. And the people who
it's a
work
$90 million budget, which,
folks
that's not Batman level, but that for an HBO Max movie, you know,
and for the folks that wrote it, the folks that directed it, and Leslie Grace, I mean, this was supposed to be like her big breakout. J.K. Simmons is in it, we had, like we said, we had Brendan Fraser was supposed to be in the movie as well, so there's just a lot of...
Brendan Fraser, he was supposed to be a big part in the movie, and I was excited to see Brendan Fraser return.
So we haven't seen him in a long time.
And Michael Keaton return as Batman.
So I mean, there was a lot of stuff that we were kind of looking forward to that's now like just gone, just like that. So I look at it, like I said, and I'm of two minds of it. There is somebody at the helm of Discovery now and Warner Brothers that isn't going to put up with junk. And that, to me, that's a great step, because he's going to demand better from everybody, and that's what we've been asking for. Marvel has put down the gauntlet so to speak, and said, hey, this is what you have to do to be successful in this stuff. And DC has repeatedly failed to do it. And there's been no accountability.
When they did do it, they did Shazam,
Yeah. There's been no real accountability at anywhere in the DC universe or in the Warner Brothers side of the house.
Well, that goes to my point about this is no, they're not giving up, because if they were giving up, they'd say bye to the Flash movie. And they have come out and said that is still happening. And Ezra Miller, I think literally today
he got
news
charged with burglary.
came out
Like
in Vermont, felony burglary, burglary on top of all the other freaking charges that dude has had. And,
I will be shocked if that movie sees the light of day.
He got caught choking a woman on video.
Yeah, that dude is radioactive.
Oh, I mean, he'll never see the light of day in cinema ever again.
Yep.
So they're still planning on releasing that movie. I think things keep changing, and that might go away at some point. Maybe that's why they're getting rid of the Michael Keaton Batman.
Yeah.
And all that. So very interesting. I can't wait to hear the real story behind this. So I think it'll be fascinating.
It'll be when VH1 was the thing, you always had that behind the music. So I imagine
I was just thinking about VH1.
VH1 will be like behind the movies, So.
I almost said VH1. Dang it, I almost said it.
Well, hold on. So so I think all in all, I do think that they're going to do a new direction. I do think that they may focus on just the individual characters, and I'm okay with that. They do want to build a cinematic universe, great, but they've got to really do it. But like I said, as somebody at the top, I think is going to be good. So next up on the rundown, though, second item that we have is we got a first kind of best look at the new Daredevil costume, because we saw in the trailer for She-Hulk that this lawyer who's very good, he's a very good lawyer. It looks like he's going to be showing up in the She-Hulk stuff. So, and I'll put this in the show when I do the show. I'll put the picture in there so everybody can kind of take a look at it and see it. But we got a really good look at what Daredevil, the new costume for Daredevil. So what did you think of that?
Loved it. Like, okay, so a little background on this costume. This is one of Daredevil's. It's either his first or his second costume ever. And there's two pictures you'll put up. One for the comic look, and the new one from Twitter. And what we got from that, it's pretty spot on, even more so than what I thought we got in the She-Hulk trailer. And so the new look looks awesome, I think. And it's really weird to think that gold and red would go together, but there's another certain guy who may be making his Disney Plus or his Disney Marvel Studios debut very soon in the next few years. And Wolverine had a badass that same color costume of red and gold. He's probably most well known for his yellow and blue, but I don't know if they'll go with yellow and blues in the upcoming one. So they may go with his red and gold one, and it would look really great because this is proof. And I wouldn't doubt Feige for one bit if that was really, he's like, let's do a red and gold Daredevil costume, see how it tests for Logan.
Yeah.
Anyway, it looks amazing. I'm so pumped for this show. She-Hulk.
For She-Hulk or the Daredevil, or both.
I'm so pumped for believe me, I'm very pumped for Daredevil Born Again, but we're a long way off from that. She-Hulk, which debuts in a couple of weeks. I've always loved the She-Hulk character. I really am excited to see how they do this like weekly lawyer show and how it builds the MCU. So I'm very excited for the She-Hulk show, and I think the costume looks great. And here's one more thing on that is, if you think back to the end of Daredevil season 3, who had the main red suit on for most of that season? It was Bullseye. Yeah. Or Poindexter. I think that was his name in that show. Poindexter. He could have tarnished that red suit, so maybe that's why Daredevil wants to distance himself from that. I know this will be like a soft reboot of that character, but obviously it's going to play into some of it because he's an alternate of that.
Would Spider-Man,
very excited.
Would also Spider-Man have anything to do with that also? Because, you know, Spider-Man stuff is also red and black, you know, for the most part, although the Iron Spider stuff or whatever that he's got is a little maybe colored a little bit different. So maybe by changing the colors, they make it a little bit more easier for people to see, and even in the Twitter when it's to kind of discern people at a very quick, you know, like color. It's like, oh, it's a red and black guy. That must be Spider-Man. But oh wait, no, that's Daredevil. You know, so that was one of the things that
that's a really good point.
Costume change. You know, so
that definitely has happened when you get. I mean, you look at the Tobey Maguire Spidey suit is different from the Andrew Garfield suit, which is different from the Tom Holland suit, and even within the Tom Holland suit, you know, they're going to be able to change that suit every movie.
Yeah.
He's actually classically red and blue, but in Far From Home, Spider-Man Far From Home, the sequel, the second one, he did have a red and black one, which fans loved to see that red and black because that was also a little bit towards the Superior Spider-Man, which is a great comic run, recent run where Doc Ock is Spidey.
Yeah.
Really great. Brett loves that. I think that might be one of his favorites. Anyway, I'm a big comic accurate guy. I think this, you know, you're not going to be able to get the exact look, but to make it look great and give it its importance or its importance to the nerd world because people really love this stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Let us know what you think. Actually, that's a big one. Let us know what you think of Daredevil's costume. Next on the rundown, we have Rosario Dawson. Had a little bit of a slip up this week and revealed that she heard the other day that the Punisher is going to return.
Yes.
And she was really excited about it because that was the only Netflix, Marvel Netflix show that didn't feature Rosario Dawson as the night nurse. What's her name? Claire. And so she was like, oh, so this would be my second chance to get on that one. Literally, that was yesterday, August 7th. Today, August 8th, she comes out and she goes, oh, you know, I shouldn't trust fans. I just heard it from a fan. Yeah. So two things. One, maybe 1A, 1B, and 2. 1A, I love Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
B, you don't blame it on fans.
Yeah.
2, do you think she got a little call from Feige this morning saying, yo, you need to fix this?
If you thought you were going to be in the show, you can forget about it now, if you don't fix this. So
he said, no show for you.
Yeah. Remember that little NDA thing that you signed a long time ago that's still intact? Love Rosario Dawson.
That Marvel Studios NDA has got to be amazing because every interview, people are like, I don't know if I should even be saying this or
right.
You know, the Marvel snipers is like a big joke out there, but you never. Their NDA has got to be.
Oh, I'm sure. It's only rivaled by
people that
It's only rivaled by the Clinton.
Scared.
The Clinton family and how many people suicide themselves from that. The guy shot himself twice in the head and zipped himself into his own suitcase.
I do not have evidence of them doing anything wrong. Okay.
Yeah. Neither do I. I've just heard stuff, but I don't know how you shoot yourself twice in the head. It's pretty interesting. So, anyhow, no, I love Rosario Dawson also, and her character was really great in those Netflix. The way she kind of wove through all this, you know, the different series and stuff like that. That was pretty kind of cool. That was really kind of cool.
I kind of wanted her to be with Daredevil more so than any of his Karen Page.
Yeah. Yeah. So, this was not an accident that I was wearing this particular shirt for this episode because I was super excited to see that video, thinking James Bernthal was coming back for some more Punisher. This
sorry.
really,
Should have
really
sent the correction to you as well.
it's all good, but I would be surprised. Again, Disney's in the business of making money, and the Punisher makes money. So he sells a lot of t-shirts and he sells a lot of stickers and a lot of stuff, that people are always wearing the Punisher logo stuff. And that, the seasons, the stuff that we got, because we got 2.5 seasons of Punisher, because we got like a half a season of him in Daredevil, right?
Oh, okay. I get
and then we get 2 full seasons of
That's a good point.
the Punisher itself. So we got
I like that
2.5 seasons
more than I
of the
thought.
Punisher. Yeah. So, but yeah, I will be shocked if they don't announce a Punisher. Something with the Punisher coming up.
They got to. With Charlie Cox, you look at the two. If there's 2 scenes in all of the Marvel Netflix shows that I remember, it's the rooftop scene with Daredevil and the Punisher, and the cemetery scene with Daredevil and the Punisher.
Right.
Neither are action scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you get the one-shot hallway fights, and even the Punisher had a crazy one in Daredevil in the prison. Yeah. But it's too good for them not to do it. It was too, man. Their chemistry is too good, and John Bernthal was too good.
Yeah,
you have to do it, right?
Yeah,
like that's gotta be it.
Yeah. So I want to next one up on the rundown. This one I'm actually very curious to get your opinion on this one. So next up is for anybody who has watched The Boys or has watched The Mandalorian up to this point, is very familiar with a phenomenal actor.
Or Breaking Bad.
But yeah, I actually didn't watch Breaking Bad, so I don't know. But
really?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Giancarlo Esposito.
One of the greatest. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Giancarlo Esposito has been rumored to have. Well, he has confirmed that he's met with Marvel, and it looks like he might be cast as either Magneto or Professor X in some sort of X-Men reimagining type thing. So what are your thoughts on that?
I love Giancarlo Esposito. Okay. He got his big start in Breaking Bad, and he's one of the greatest all-time TV villains. And funny to say he's the villain in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But incredible actor. And then he shows up on the Mandalorian at the very end of season 1, and then has a bigger arc in season 2.
Right.
And then he's on The Boys, and I haven't even watched season 3, so I haven't seen much of him, but heard nothing but good things. So obviously, if this guy is in your show or movie, it's going to be good. It's going to be like all-time bangers. He
strikes me as the villain, like Hans Gruber type, like just you're only as good as your villain. And Giancarlo is a spectacular villain. So
spectacular. And I would love to see him as I would hate to see him as Professor X, and I would love to see him as Magneto.
Yeah.
I think he could play well, and I'm sure if he got cast as Professor X, he'd do a great job. But Magneto is he's a character you're going to have to update because his origin takes place in World War II.
Right.
So you can update Magneto to be more, of the time, and have the character race swap, which I think you may have to even change his name at that point too, change his whole identity. And if that's the case, then maybe I'm a little bit against that. But I guess you don't have to change his name. He could still be Eric Lyncher. Anyway.
Well,
wild thoughts there. Wild thoughts.
Yeah, working that out.
I would love to see him as Magneto, but I'd like to see him as some other characters. We can get into that later. But so this news, I'm excited that he's talking to him. He's definitely a talent you want to snag if you're Marvel Studios, and give him the Magneto role.
Yeah, whatever role they do slide him into, I have 100%, 110% confidence that guy is going to knock it out of the park, because that dude can monologue. Like he's got like the monologue skills of all monologue skills. Like, and you know, your villain always has to be able to monologue at some point.
He has to monologue, right? It's like number one rule of being a villain.
What's the one from The Incredibles? Oh, you caught me monologuing. You caught me.
The fan. Isn't it the fan who says? I'm
your number one fan. You know,
I'm your number one fan.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, I can't see any other movies. Better Call Saul, Mandalorian Boys, Breaking Bad. That was some of the quick ones I pulled up. But
he's been around a long time. Yeah,
he's been around a long time. But he's really just blown up since Breaking Bad, and he's an Italian. So give me more Italian, if you know what I mean. I love it. He's never disappointed me. So
he's got 189 credits on IMDb.
He's in Trading Places. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. That's one of my Dad and I's all-time favorite movies.
That dude has been working. He's been working hard. He played Lex Luthor in the Harley Quinn TV series. All right.
Oh, wasn't it? Yeah, that was the animated one, which is making a new season come out. Actually, Usual Suspects. I don't remember him that. I don't remember him in the Maze Runner, Trading Places. Death Cure. Oh, that's Maze Runner. It's Upon a Time show. Man, that show pissed me off. Ali, Line of Duty. Anyway, okay. So looking forward to more Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
Last on the rundown, we got some official news this week. Some we talked about not too long ago, you and I, Eric.
Yeah.
But Lady Gaga has been confirmed to be Harley Quinn in Joker Folie à Deux. Is it Joker 2 Folie à Deux? No, I think it's just Joker Folie à Deux. Yeah, it's Joker Folie. Saying this a lot. Joker Folie à Deux. Joaquin Phoenix returning, and Lady Gaga is the new Harley Quinn. Obviously, we know that Margot Robbie is also Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad movies and her own movie Birds of Prey. Now it's official, and we got a little bit of a weird teaser about it. No actual footage. It's like a weird cartoon thing. Anyway, Eric, you can see I'm very excited about this news.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't. I really don't. So Lady Gaga's been. I will apologize to her, like in person or whatever, if need be. I've completely underestimated her and her acting abilities, like from the very beginning. Like I did not expect her to be as good as she has been. She has far surpassed any of my expectations, in what I've seen her in to this point. I watched a little bit of the Gucci, and that chick was all kinds of wrong in that movie, like in a great way. Like she was just amazing in that.
She looked great.
And so I will say I cannot put anything past her. Like I'm not going to underestimate her again in this particular film. So I know she's going to come I know she's going to come with everything that she's got to that. She's going to give it everything she's got. And she's got tough shoes to fill because Margot Robbie is a tremendous talent as well. You know, in addition to being just one of the most beautiful women in the world, she also is a tremendous actress. And so it's going to be hard, but they've taken the Joker, you know, that first Joker movie, they took it in a completely, I wouldn't say different direction, but it's a different take on the Joker than you've ever seen before. So I imagine that the Harley Quinn will be a different version. I don't think we're going to see the roller skates. I mean, maybe we'll see the roller skates and the pleated skirt, but I would doubt it, you know, or maybe we'll see it in some sort of play of some sort or whatever that she's, you know, it's some sort of tongue-in-cheek type thing that she's doing or whatever, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, and this is supposed to be a musical, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if that was confirmed, actually.
I don't know about that part, but maybe, I mean, that makes sense with her being okay. So let's war game that out a little bit, because if it's going to be a musical, you've got her as Harley Quinn. And, you know, I don't know if you saw Joaquin Phoenix in the Johnny Cash movie, but that dude was awesome in the Johnny Cash movie. He was really great in that. Did you watch that one?
No.
Oh, man. Joaquin Phoenix was tremendous as Johnny Cash in that. And that's a phenomenal movie. Like
Banana loves it. I couldn't get myself to it, but yeah. I wasn't one I was excited for.
Yeah, he and Walk the Line is what that
Reese
one's
Witherspoon,
called.
Right?
Him and Reese Witherspoon, and the two of them were dynamite together. And he really, you know, I wouldn't say a huge Johnny Cash fan, but I love Johnny Cash. Like, I love his music and all that. And so watching him, you know, he was really tremendous as Johnny Cash. So you've got Joaquin having that type of experience in a musical type movie, both, you know, prior to this, and then having her with her musical chops. It could make sense. It could be something we've never seen before. I'll just say that this is, if that's the way it's going to be, this could be something we've never seen before, and take that for what it is.
I get it, and Todd Phillips is an amazing writer.
Yeah,
he's very smart. I didn't see the first Joker, but that's just because I'm like, I don't need it. If this isn't going to have Batman, I don't like Joker that much to watch it.
It's the way I felt about it. Like, I don't want to watch a movie about a villain. I don't want to make him more human. I don't want to make him more whatever. You're a bad guy doing bad stuff. Like, that's, you know, I'd
rather not know how he became Joker.
Right.
It's always been there's like 3 or 4 different, you know, origins for Joker, and you know, no one really knows which is the real one, and that's exciting, I think. And this is just dumb. And we're getting a different Joker in the Batman 2,
right,
or Batman 3, whenever it is, because we got that Joker tease in Robert Pattinson's Batman. So how many Jokers have we had? Literally, how many Jokers have we had? Just Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson?
Nope. He's forever now Robert Pattinson.
Right, Robert Pattinson. Okay.
That's now canon.
All right, it's fair. And Chris Pine.
Who's Brian? Who gave me the permission on that? No, this is not a Chris Prim situation.
It is not a Chris Prim.
Robert right. Anyway, since Jack Nicholson, how many Jokers have we had?
That's it. We talked about this in the show last week. I think, you know, we had the discussion about Batman and, you know, the canon stuff that we talk about, because Batman is you know, there's a whole monologue that James Earl Jones does in Field of Dreams, where he talks about, you know, baseball marking the time, and he talks about America has been written and erased and written again, on a blackboard. And I feel like that's exactly how they do Batman, and that's exactly how they do the Joker is over time. And I remember, I think I said a tweet that somebody posted, it's like, I look forward to watching the next darker and grittier Batman, because every time it just gets a little darker and a little grittier, and all that. So I think that's, I agree.
You know what though? There's some villains that I love in Marvel that I'm like, I don't know if I need to see a whole movie about them.
Right.
So it's just not I don't know. There's people out there that love it. It's getting a sequel. So good luck. Good luck. All right, let's get back to the nerd box. Like I said, Captain Dunsel making a two-timer question. I cut it in half, so it comes up 2 times, but and it's a follow-up to his nerd box question last week. So he says, following up on the canon question from last week in regards to Marvel, does this make the Incredible Hulk of the late 70s canon? And as I have asked a Big Morg, like he would know, what's he know? What about the Captain America serial from 1944? Canon or not? I probably should have had you ask this question.
Yeah.
Well, Captain Dunsel, again, thank you for writing in. I would say maybe to the Incredible Hulk of the late 70s. I think there might be a way to have that be an alternate universe in the timeline.
We're talking about the Lou Ferrigno TV series.
The Lou Ferrigno, yep. Which also had an appearance of Thor, the Thor character.
Yeah.
And there's one more. It may have been Daredevil, actually. It may have had it. Maybe it was Captain America. I don't know. It was one of those two, I feel like, appeared in that show. But I'm going to say that one has more of a chance of being part of the canon.
Yeah.
As I put up air quotes for audio only. I know I will say no to the Captain America serial from 1944 because that's not even Steve Rogers. And so I'd say Steve Rogers is the prime Captain America, and no Captain America came before him. What it could be, though, is it could be a TV or a movie in the MCU that Steve watched, back in the 40s.
Yeah.
That
Serial.
after he was not on, once he left the propaganda machine, they had to have somebody else be, they had to keep the Captain America mystique alive for the folks back home, and maybe they created that movie, or maybe in remembrance to him since he died.
After he got frozen in the ice and stuff, yeah.
So I will say, but I think he died in 1945. So I think that's a funny question, and one that is applicable to.
I think he's just trying to nail you down. This one, I think he's just trying to get you under his thumb on that one, and you're trying to squirm out of that one. But
Stump. This is like Stump Jeeves. Do you ever play Stump Jeeves?
Yeah,
where you,
Stump Jeeves. Yeah.
Back in the day, where you go ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
Try to stump him, see if he.
Yeah.
Back when the internet didn't have all the answers.
Right.
Stump. Whoa, no. That's not called it. That's not called there.
That feels like the censors would nail us for that one, but
that could go in a wrong direction. So
yeah.
I don't know. What are you? You're the old guy on the show.
Yeah, I
experienced.
I watched the Hulk. I watched the Incredible Hulk of the late 70s. I was too young to see them live, but I do remember watching the reruns as a kid. And I always loved it. I always thought that was cool. Bruce Banner, he was like, it was like.
He was David Banner in that show, actually.
He was David Banner, wasn't he? And I just remember watching.
That could be that. That could cancel it because that's a different name as well. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Well, it'd be a different universe, right? So.
Yeah, but they still usually have the same names.
Yeah. So I don't know. I can't see either one of these being canon, but I don't know that I fall in the same line as you as saying that everything is canon on that. So So I'm gonna say no. I
know.
don't think either one of these pieces are canon at all. I think they are standalone properties that and I, like I said, I loved the Incredible Hulk. It was so cool, to watch him change and have Lou Ferrigno be all painted up all green and stuff. It just was so cool, and
So big.
he was gigantic. He was a gigantic dude. So
Still is.
yeah. And then I was not around for the Captain America serial from 1944.
Oh, you're not that old.
I did not.
You're too young to remember this, Eric.
Yeah, 76 is my born on date. So
aging yourself here.
yeah.
The question or the statement, you're too young to remember this.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to talk about a pet peeve? Somebody says that to me, I always fire back with, "Oh, do you remember Wizard of Oz? Because that came out before you were born."
Right.
Like there's no way you could know this.
My wife.
They should just say that before they say that.
My wife hates this thing. I always say, like when we go to like a bar or whatever, and I order because I don't drink, so I always order like a non-alcoholic beer or something like that. Sometimes I'll have like a non-alcoholic.
And I can confirm this.
Right. So I always refer to it as an unleaded beer. I'm like, do you have an unleaded beer? And the older bartenders usually will be like, yeah, like O'Doul's or something like that, and they just get it, and like the younger kids, they're like, unleaded, and I'm like, and so then
I'm not saying
that
like
does
that,
come out from time to time where I go, you're probably too young to remember, what leaded gasoline was, because even leaded gasoline was gone by the time I was a kid, so
Yeah, but I understand you being like, well, at least, and as I get older, this happens more and more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, like I gave advice to the propane tank guy at Ace Hardware the other day. This guy and his wife walk up, and she's carrying the propane tank. They set it down. They walk in to go pay for it, and he's filling up my tank. And I get my tank, and I go, let me give you a piece of advice. Don't be the guy that has your wife carry the propane tank.
Yeah, right.
And he looked at me like, what? Like, what are you doing? And I was like, all right, that was really a big time dad moment. I was like, maybe I should wait a little bit longer to start giving advice to kids. But anyway,
I will tell you,
I like had to get that out.
Those commercials that they have on TV for where the don't be your parents.
Don't be turning into your parents.
You're turning into your parents stuff. It's like
I love every
like
single one of those.
The shopping cart thing. He doesn't need you to help. He doesn't need you. And then like, we all see it. We all see it. You don't need to say anything. Blue hair. He's got blue hair. Like those things.
I love. He's like, we don't print the internet.
Right. They open up the freezer. He's like, "What is this?" He's like,
Yeah. The best one is he's like, and who reads books about submarines?
Right.
My dad.
Yeah. Oh my
That is a great commercial.
It's so great. The whole series is so good. And there's a channel, or I should say channel, an account on Instagram that I follow called Classic Dad Moves. And it is spot on with stuff that I do all the time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a dad, I'm like,
I was on vacation recently, and we'll wrap up the show with this because it's a good tie into that. This podcast has a central thematic element to it that we like to talk about from time to time, and that is, we are all a nerd in our own way. We can nerd out about whatever we want, whether it is about Marvel Cinematic Universe, whether it's about Star Trek, whether it's about Jurassic Park, whether it's about mowing your lawn, which Eric faux show nerds out about.
I love it.
He has sent me pictures of his lawn.
I will actually post in the show. On the show, I will post a picture of my grass, so you can see how amazing it is.
And it is amazing. He does such a good job with it. And with that, A couple of weeks ago, I was in Mexico, and I was with my family, and I was just having vacation, and I was thinking about the show. I wasn't on it that week. I was listening to you guys, and I was loving it, and I'm like, I'm here with my family. I was like totally into my family that week, that makes it sound like I'm not usually, but it's a little exasperated on vacation. I'm like, I'm going to start liking every post I ever see about a dad, whether it's my friends on Facebook or on Twitter, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, man, I am really nerding out about being a dad this week. And I was like, you know what? I'm a nerd dad. Penny loves watching Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff. She loves Star Wars. I'm not raising her to be a nerd. She's just that's naturally coming out. She's liking it.
Yeah.
And I know you, Eric, are in that same boat.
Got two little nerds in my house right now. I got a nerd that's out of the house, although she doesn't want to be called a nerd, but it's fine. But she loves herself some Harry Potter and all that stuff. So
yeah, that's right. That's right. So I don't know. I just had like a
none of them like Star Trek, moment. Just so you know. So we're safe. So. Although I Jackson's my last hope on that one, I think. So, but
it's plenty of time. Plenty of time yeah. For him to catch on to that.
Yeah.
Anyway, just kind of nerding out about being a dad. It was fun, and love my girls more than anything. I'm sure you say the same. Yeah. So, another thing I really love is this show. I really, really, really love this show. I love being on this show with you every week, Eric. It's getting close to being like the show is on the verge. We really feel it. There's some things in motion. I know we've announced a merch partner. That fell through the cracks. So we're still on the lookout for merch partners. If you guys know any, send them my way. I'd love to talk with them. We got some art coming up, hopefully some music. There's about to be an explosion of Nerd Rundown stuff. Yep. And, we couldn't have gotten as far as we have gotten without you nerds out there. So thank you all. Thank you, Eric, for everything you do, both on the front end and back end of the show, like a full stack developer.
Thank you.
Both, take the front end and the back. So just really feeling proud these days of the show, and love interacting with you all online. It's been a lot of fun. Gonna get better.
Yep.
Big things on the horizon. And with that being said, we'll see you all next week on the Nerd Rundown.
See ya. Bye.